As you probably already know, exterminating for bedbugs can be challenging if not done correctly. But what people don't realize is that the preparation process is equally, if not more important than the actual extermination process itself. Many pest control companies approach treating bedbugs by treating the structure and not your personal contents. At M&M Environmental, this is the method that we use also, treating the structure and not your personal contents. But since bedbugs can exist in both places, we need cooperation on your end by following our preparation list to ensure that your bedbug problems are gone for good. We're going to need you to follow the many different steps of our preparation procedure fully and completely to make sure that all items, like your kitchen items, furniture, clothing, and other personal contents, are safe and bedbug free. If you do decide to keep your mattress and box springs, you're going to have to insert both of these items into special encasements right after they have been treated. For wooden box springs, because of their porous nature, they're difficult to treat since the bedbugs have a tendency of burrowing deep inside. So if you decide that you're going to keep your mattress and box spring, you're going to have to strip everything off of both of these items, and we mean everything, bed skirts and mattress covers included. Then, these things will have to be washed and dried, since the high heat of the dryer kills any lingering bedbugs and their eggs too. Then, prior to treatment, after the mattress and box spring have both been encased, the clean and dried items can be returned to the bed. When dealing with bedbugs, depending on the extent of your infestation, you can elect to either keep or dispose of your furniture. Sofas are pretty difficult to treat and will require professional treatment. At M&M Environmental, we use a variety of different methods for treating furniture, like either using EPA-approved insecticide and steam or cryonite freeze treatment. After being treated, they will need to be wrapped in plastic for an extended period of time. These items must remain wrapped this way until after the second treatment. At M&M, we recommend keeping furniture wrapped until you're confident that the problem has been resolved. I think we can all agree that clothing is something very important to us. But since bedbugs aren't restricted to only living in beds, they can be found in your clothing too. Because of this, everything in your wardrobe must be placed in a sealed plastic container and washed and dried prior to treatment. This process not only protects your clothing from pesticides being used during a treatment, it will also wash away or kill any bugs and their eggs, since bedbugs die after 15 minutes in a dryer and high heat. You're also going to have to remember to clear out all the surface areas and empty out all of your shelves, armoires, dressers, bureaus, and chests to prepare for treatment. After being cleaned and dried, the clothing must be transferred into brand new sealable plastic bags or containers, and if you're using containers, make sure that they've already been sanitized with the alcohol and water mixture. Alternatively, hanging or more delicate items can be cleaned with a steam cleaner, which kills bedbugs and their eggs on contact. Much like your clothing, all of your shoes, and we're talking everything, from boots to wedges to flip-flops, must be wiped down with a mixture of water and alcohol or steamed in order to be safe to wear again. You can easily use a cloth to do this, and make sure to pay special note and attention to the interior seams of your shoes, especially on the soles, since this is a popular place for bedbugs to burrow. They must be placed in sealed plastic containers and stored. We also recommend removing shoelaces to make access easier. We all have hobbies, which for most of us translates into collections of things like DVDs or books. Prior to receiving treatment from M&M, all of these items must be wiped down with a mixture of alcohol and water and placed in sealed plastic bags or containers. A damp cloth can be used for this, and it's most important to make sure that the binding and the tops of the book are wiped down thoroughly and completely, since those are the parts most likely to be exposed on a bookshelf. If you have an excess amount of these items, or don't have time to wipe all of them down, it's highly recommended to consider a cryonite instant freeze treatment or off-site fumigation. Instant freezing can be used on these types of items because the cryonite gas will not disrupt the pages, ink, or appearance of items which may be sentimental. Cryonite works by creating a CO2 gas that freezes bedbugs and their eggs on contact on items like these. Additional items like knickknacks or jewelry must also be wiped down with the water and alcohol mixture and placed in sealed plastic bags or storage. Since bedbugs can live easily inside the cracks and crevices in a wall, all of your wall decorations must be removed and inspected prior to treatment. Things like pictures, posters, and mirrors must be inspected and wiped down with a mixture of water and alcohol prior to treatment. This can be done easily, but it has to be done carefully with a damp cloth. These items must then be placed in sealed storage so they aren't affected by the pesticides. It's also highly recommended to request the Cryonite freeze treatment, which works by creating a gas out of CO2 which freezes bedbugs and their eggs on contact. Floor carpeting is extremely difficult to treat. Usually, rubber matting has been installed underneath it to avoid slipping and for soundproofing. This rubber is impossible to treat because bedbugs can crawl underneath it, hence avoiding the actual treatment. We recommend that you remove any floor carpeting prior to treatment and have it professionally steamed and stored during the treatment. For machines and electronics like computers, microwaves, radios, or DVD players, they must be covered lightly in plastic like a painter's drop cloth. It's highly recommended to consider a Cryonite instant freeze treatment on items like these. It's also recommended to spray the inside of these items with a compressed air cleaner like Dust Off to clean the interior. All luggage and suitcases must be emptied, opened, and inspected for treatment. Larger suitcases will actually be treated with insecticides from M&M Environmental and should be left open and emptied. Smaller suitcases must be opened and wiped down with the alcohol and water mixture. When doing this, use a damp cloth and be sure to pay special note to the seams, a popular place for bedbugs to hide. Cloth duffel and handbags should be emptied and placed in the dryer since the high heat will kill the bedbugs and their eggs. For smaller purses made out of nicer material, they must be wiped down with the alcohol and water mixture. Alternatively, purses and small items like this can also be cleaned with a steam cleaner. And also, don't forget, all of these items must be bagged in a sealed plastic bag or container after they've been cleaned. Prepare to clear out all of your kitchen. Any edible items that have been opened prior, like cereal or oatmeal, will have to be placed in the refrigerator to be properly stored. Other unopened food items can be placed in sealed plastic bags or storage prior to treatment. Make sure to clear out all of your shelves, cabinets, and drawers, and place all of your pots, pans, silverware, and other food-related items in these sealed plastic bags or containers. Be sure to empty out all of your trash cans prior to treatment and get rid of any unused plastic or paper grocery shopping bags. After the first treatment, all of the surface areas will have to be wiped down with a mixture of soap and water in order to be used again. Also, be sure to wash all your cups, plates, and other eating utensils prior to using them again after the first treatment. Everything in the bathroom will have to be cleared out and wiped down with a mixture of alcohol and water and placed into sealed plastic bags or containers. Be sure to inspect your items carefully before placing them in these plastic bags or containers. Also, be sure to empty out all of the shelves, medicine cabinets, areas under the sinks, and large surface areas in the bathroom to make sure that all of the area and space has been cleared prior to treatment. Wooden musical instruments such as acoustic guitars, cellos, or maracas are difficult to clean because their inside parts are hard to get to. Furthermore, they should not be exposed to heat, water, or extremely cold temperatures. If you have any of these items, you may want to consider removing them for off-site fumigation with gas. As a precautionary measure, it's also a good idea to brush your cats or dogs 3 weeks after treatment. Fish are exceptionally sensitive to treatment processes and must be removed or sealed in an airtight container during the actual treatment.